So John Vogt asks in a public comment, and let me say this: if you have any questions about orthodoxy or topics you'd like me to address, just put them in the comment section of my video, and I'd be happy to make a video for you explaining it um, or addressing even the topics. Uh, Again, we must help those who are young in the faith or seeking for knowledge or interested in coming to the church. We must help them. And this is what infuriates me about people who are schismatic and claim that they're the only ones that can truly speak about orthodoxy. And they mislead people. Um, but this is to John Vogt, I believe it's how it's spelled, or how it's pronounced. Um, that's why I have people like Josiah Trenum and Father Josiah Trenum and basically every bishop in the world in agreement with me. And then there's those who it's them and they won't even attend a parish because or a service because everybody in they're the true Orthodox Church and everybody who's not them and their family are doomed to hell. It's like a Westboro Baptist thing. It's very dangerous. That's why. So let me try to answer his question. I'm a Methodist. Cool. Praise God. You believe in the Trinity and hypostatic union. But I've been considering joining the Orthodox faith for a while now. Um, so take what I'm about to say with qualification that I definitely think Orthodox theology is stronger than Wesleyan theology in most, if not all, respects. Well, thank you very much. That's actually very flattering for us. I agree. I don't think Wesley had extreme and literal um, view perfect sinlessness in mind when he talked about Christian perfection. No, I mean, but definitely later people did, right? I mean, that's what it turns into. Um, the That's where pietism goes wrong. And don't get me wrong, we believe that there were people who lived lives that never actively sinned, but sinned by omission. I mean, they never committed sin, but they sinned through omission, like John the Baptist and the Theotokos. We believe they were sinless in the fact that they never committed a sin, but they sinned through omission, not commission, right? So, and that's a tradition that we hold. Again, not dogmatic, but it's just something that's been passed on. Whether it just came out of extreme respect for John the Baptist, the last of the Old Testament prophets, and the Theotokos, who's the Ark of the Covenant. But okay, let me go on. I believe what he had in mind was something more like a kind of sanctification, which corresponds roughly with the Orthodox view of theosis. I think sanctification, yeah, and theosis, yeah. But keep in mind, our idea of sanctification is, or theosis is sanctification that's happening within this life, but also extends into the next life as well. For us, it doesn't stop. Um, you know, God doesn't zap you and you automatically change, right? This again would be why purgatory got built up in the West. Of well, how is that happening? And because they had a very kind of more of a meticulous, systematic mind. They needed these systems almost. So, but whereas we're like, well, okay, but how can you conceive of heaven or God? So we kind of just use apophatic terms, unknowable, unthinkable. Also, doesn't Paul talk about perfection somewhere in one of his epistles? Please correct me if I'm wrong, though. Thanks. I'm sure he does, but in what reference? I mean, obviously in Christ we have perfection, right? Um, but that's not of our merits. That's not of our doing. Um, So I don't know. You'd have to give me the verse. Um, but again, I welcome you to, and you can check. There used to be a large community of us on here. Gambler, um, Rachel, a lot of people who were uh, Orthodox for years, practicing with David P. Witham as well. Uh, who I could say, well, you can even I point to them and them and them and them. And I guess David had kids. I believe Gambler. I don't. His videos are archived, so you can watch some of them. But he stopped making new videos. He's still part of the Orthodox Church, though. He's Greek Orthodox. Rachel needed to focus more on her family, um, but she's in the shadows and in the wings, still watching comment section stuff like that, and she'll pop up, under whatever names in comments. So that's fine. But yeah, so it's kind of tough when you get these people who basically have a cult of personality that's built around themselves. Um, but anytime, anything you have a question about or a topic you want me to address, I will address it or answer it via video. And then after watching it, I would encourage you to go check with, um, like your local priest, Orthodox parish, and say, just you don't have to show them my video. Just say, well, is this correct? I heard this about that. Or you could even email one of the bishops. I don't know how busy Josiah Trenham is, but he's awesome. Maybe send him an email. Be like, is this correct? Um, I want to know if I'm being misled by this person or this and that. So I would, because again, I don't have the big, the host of people I had before, 3 years ago on here. So, no, thank you for your questions, and hopefully I'll be congratulating you and celebrating that you were joined to the church. It'll probably be done through chrismation, but maybe baptism. Um, but yeah, uh, don't get dissuaded. Probably stay away from the philokalia for right now, and don't again tread lightly. There's people who will want you to believe in toll houses. Toll houses are blasphemous. Reject them. Run away from people who claim that kind of stuff. And yeah, peace to you. I'd be more than happy to help you out. Orthodox are commanded to help our fellow brothers in Christ out. If you believe in the Trinity and the hypostatic union, and just again attend Vespers on Saturday nights, or if you can, liturgy on Sunday mornings, um, and you'll see. I mean, we use the psalter in the Psalms, and we chant them like it was chanted in ancient times, and every bit of our ceremony is about, or our liturgy uh, is explaining the theology. And again, don't get caught up. There's sometimes where you'll hear about the Theotokos, the Virgin Mary, and remember that was translated from a language to another language and then into English by people who English wasn't their first language. Um, so uh, that usually scares people, but then when they sit down with the parish priest or a deacon or subdeacon, and it gets explained to them, they're like, "Oh, okay, I get it now." All right, like you'll hear through the prayers of the Theotokos, "So Savior, save us." That sounds very blasphemous. Actually, I'll do a video on that right now, just a separate one, because I think that needs to get explained because people will have questions about that. But no, John, thank you very much, and hope I hear from you again. Peace to you, brother.